You guys know Intel's been putting out some new heat on the market, and we're building today with the Intel Ultra 5 250K Plus. It's gonna be a pretty nice build.
And it features a GPU also we don't really think about very much, but honestly with all the price increases, is one you should consider. Let's talk about this full build after a word from today's sponsor.
If you didn't know, these giveaways are made possible by PCBros.tech, which is our PC selling business. Whether you're looking for a gaming PC, a laptop, if you can come in person, we got an in-person store. You can also shop online throughout the entire US. And if you're even looking for a one-of-one custom, we totally do that here. Almost all the builds on our website are one-off customs that you can only buy once and you can't get again. So check out PCBros.tech today. Let's get back to the video. So really this build is kind of focusing around the new Ultra 5 250K Plus, which is 18 cores and 18 threads. It's kind of supposed to be the 9600X killer. Well, we don't know if it's gonna kill it just yet because we gotta actually show you guys the benchmarks of this PC. But coming in at about 220 bucks, it's just a little more expensive than the 9600X, and it might just be for your next gaming PC.
And talking more on that price, you can actually save a good amount of money if you go with a CPU motherboard combo on Newegg, just like anything in PC building right now. Definitely use those links down below to get the best pricing and availability. So if you want to save some money and not go exactly what we went with and get a combo from Newegg, we highly suggest that. But let's talk about the rest of the parts for this PC build and also talk about how you can win this PC. Yes, we're giving it away.
So once again, to kick things off, we got the Intel Ultra 5 250K Plus, which is a mouthful, but it's 18 cores, 18 threads. To get more specific, it's actually 12 efficiency cores and 6 performance cores. And they're supposed to be about 200 bucks. We paid $219, and it's looking pretty appealing right now. Pretty low TDP, low wattage, easy to keep cool, which you'll see in the benchmarks. Now shout out to Corsair. This is one of the first parts they sent over. They sent over a lot of parts, and Zotac also helped out, but Corsair was nice enough to send over their Nautilus RS360 in black, which is a 360mm liquid cooler. We ended up opting to put it in the front, and so far it has ran really well, completely silent, and it looks really cool. It comes with their ARGB Corsair fans, which we have mounted here in the front. And that cooler comes in at about 130 bucks for the ARGB version or 110 for the all black version. Now Matt mentioned those motherboard combos. Make sure you guys follow the Toasty Bros Discord because Jonah posts all kinds of combo deals in there, but we ended up picking up an ASRock Phantom Gaming B860 Lightning Wi-Fi for 160 bucks. That's one of the things I feel like we've noticed with these boards is they're really competitive with the AM5 motherboards. You're getting 4 RAM slots, you're getting 2 8-pins for the CPU, and honestly just a really nice looking super premium board, 160 bucks, and they do get cheaper than that too. Now for the expensive part, the RAM, we got 32 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RGB. That's 2x16 dual channel, 6000 megahertz, CL36 RGB. It's funny, I actually got this for 370 bucks. This is kind of when we heard that the AI bubble may be like kind of popping. So the RAM price actually did go down that day, and I got some really nice looking RAM for 370 bucks. Definitely not MSRP, but hey, it's a little cheaper. Now we got a pretty fast Gen 4 SSD, the Patriot V4 1TB NVMe SSD. I paid $144, speaking of those slightly higher prices, but that is a really fast Gen 4 drive, and yeah, I didn't want to pay all that Gen 5 speeds, and it's going to go really nicely inside this build, loading up those games super quick.
Now for the GPU, we have a Zotac 2-fan RTX 5060 Ti 16GB, which is valued right now at $479. Now I talked about during that intro, it's a graphics card we normally don't recommend that much. Zotac did send it over, but we were excited to test this GPU because with how expensive a card like, let's say the 9060 XT 16GB is getting, only about $30 cheaper than the 5060 Ti 16GB, it does make the NVIDIA option one to consider now when before there was like almost $100 price difference. But we always have to mention, especially with a build like this and a good CPU like the 250K Plus, you can scale up if you're willing to spend a little bit more money to an RTX 5070 or RX 9070. You may actually get better price performance by spending a little bit more and getting those GPUs because they are a decent amount faster. But in this build, we really wanted to see what the 5060 Ti 16GB can do, and I'm excited to see how it pairs with the 250K Plus. Now for the power supply, we have the Corsair RM850E. Thanks again to Corsair for sending that over. This power supply comes in around $124. Really nice solid power supply from Corsair. It's 850 watts, way more than we need for this PC build. You could probably get away with a 750 with room for upgrades in the future, or if you just want out of the box performance, honestly a 650 would work as well, because that 5060 Ti 16GB only requires an 8-pin for power. So you could save some money there if you want to, if you're copying this exact configuration, but 850 does give us room for upgrades. Now lastly, to round out a bunch of the Corsair stuff in this build, this is the Corsair 3200D, which we did a YouTube short on, and we've done a lot of content about it. It's a really cool case from Corsair, coming in at $89 $79 for the ARGB version or $79 for the non-RGB version. And it's a really cool full-size case that has a very unique front panel for ventilation. It does come with 3 RGB fans installed in our case, which we did use with the radiator. We did add 3 more RGB fans up top. They are just ASRock RGB fans just for additional airflow, and 1 RGB fan in the back. You do get basement airflow, which this one right here is an angled mount where you can actually get more airflow pointed directly to the GPU. If you have a longer GPU, it'll really get absorbed into the 3rd fan if you do go for a 3-fan model. And the same thing goes here, some additional airflow from the basement, and then that 1 fan in the back for extra exhaust. So we have plenty of airflow in this build, and it's running really quietly right now. And as you guys will see during the benchmarks, it runs really cool as well. And this is a really cool case from Corsair. Normally they're pretty expensive if you're buying a case from Corsair, but for the price, I'm really happy with the performance. So we're looking at $1,700 pre-tax for this PC build. After taxes and everything, you're looking closer to that $1,800 range, which is a lot to spend on a gaming PC in 2026. But I think the performance is going to be pretty cool. We're going to run it through some benchmarks, show you guys what it can do in AAA titles, esports titles, and more. And then we'll tell you guys how you can win this PC coming up very soon, as in the day this video is uploaded. So hopefully you guys have entered for the giveaway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on this new 18-core, 18-thread, 250K plus. Let me show you the settings that we're running, because I think it's pretty impressive. We're actually doing 1440p with DLSS set to quality on the transform model, so a little bit harder to run, actually. Dynamic medium ray tracing, high settings, and hey, we're not going to stretch out the 16 gigs of VRAM in this game, that's for sure.
No, this game is very efficient in the VRAM department, and yeah, we're using about 5 right now at 1440p. Yeah.
Yep.
You're good in Arc Raiders.
And it looks really good. It's very smooth right now. You can see we're getting an average of pretty close to, like, you know, your high refresh rate, 129 lows in the 80s, which is pretty good. Really good response time. Let's see if we can arc it up.
I mean, it is only a single APM, but I forget how like low power the 5060 Ti is in terms of power draw. Like 128 watts is all it pulls to get the level of performance it's doing right now.
I know for a while we really hated on this card, not because it's a bad card, just price to performance. The 5070 was only 50 bucks more. Well, now it's like 150 more, 100 more on average, and even the 9060 XT 16 gig has also gone up quite a bit in price. So this card's actually a lot closer now to the same price as the 9060 XT.
And DLSS is going to be the superior option for upscaling where possible. So. Oh, what is that thing?
This thing?
Oh, no.
Oh gosh, I just discovered a new unk.
You got a new unk. Oh! Someone else shoot that thing for you?
No, I think that was it self-destructing.
Oh, nice.
I think that's its thing. I'll grab some of its loot before I head out. But yeah, pretty safe to say that we got plenty of specs here. I mean, the build's, it's expensive. You know, that's what's crazy is before, when you hear these specs, you probably think, you know, a little over $1,000 bucks. Right? I mean, right now this build's closer to like 1,800 to build yourself. But that's why we're giving it away.
Yeah, because why not?
Why not, right?
Because why not?
We don't want you guys to have to spend all this money.
Everything's running cool too. That CPU is running about 5 gigahertz.
Yeah, it's really cool right now. It's like the same temp, the GPU and CPU are almost the same temp. Yeah, pretty safe to say that this would have ran great even without upscaling as well. I feel like I gotta pop one shot at it before I leave, you know?
Yeah, you gotta pop a shot.
Someone's like getting, oh, look at that.
Oh, he's going at it. Pop a shot at it. Hell yeah.
Pop a shot at it.
Oh, we just shot a missile at you.
Oh,
and that guy's trying to evac.
We must leave now. We must leave. We must get out of here.
I'm friendly?
Oh, there's 2 in
Friendly squad.
Friend squad, friend squad. Yeah, safe to say, pretty close to high refresh, 130 plus FPS average. Let's see what another game can do.
Looks good. All right, guys, we are now in Resident Evil Requiem, which very demanding game here that we're currently running. Let's go to our settings here. So under graphics, we are currently running 1440p. Variable is unlocked frame rate in this game. We're on the high graphics quality, high textures, and we're also running DLSS set to quality, but we're running some frame gen, which we can actually, I thought it was gonna be more than that. So you could actually do 4 times frame gen, which would be quite goofy, but we're running 2 times. This is one of those games where you don't necessarily need crazy frame gen because as long as you're getting 60-ish FPS, you're gonna have a good time. But everything else is on high, and we're gonna hit page up. The power of frame gen, ladies and gentlemen.
It's one of those games where like frame gen totally makes sense because it's not competitive. For any of you haters out there, just look how good it looks. And you know, only running 60 FPS on like a high refresh rate monitor, it doesn't always look the best anyways.
It doesn't. So if you are good with that, especially in a story game like this where fast responsiveness is not the most important thing in the world. Also, if you want to crank the settings even higher, like ultra, maybe some more ray tracing, then enable some frame generation, that's where this card can definitely shine. And where it's shining right now is VRAM right now. We're close to 11 gigs being used. Not 16 fully, but a 12 gig card would be in the same boat where it would be A-OK here. But the GPU is getting maxed out in this scenario, and this opening scene is pretty demanding with a lot of reflections going on.
You see that new Ultra 5 is just not even really, not having to do anything. But we got some esports games that we'll get to really see that thing stretch.
We're going to go back down the alley, the mystery alley. This game is kind of walking simulator. I may get a little further in the game if we continue to benchmark it, but for the most part, we are just kind of showing off some of the scenery in this game and the reflections of the water. I don't know if it's like the water textures, but something with DLSS or upscaling makes it like glimmer weird on like some materials. It could just be how they represent water in the game, or it could be some of the frame gen, just depends. But anyways, frame gen perfectly fine. I'm wondering if I could turn off frame gen just to show you guys without having to do a restart. What the difference looks like FPS wise. 2 times frame gen means we technically should just half our FPS here. That doesn't say right. That seems it looks a little less than half. I mean, frame gen is off.
Is it not getting more FPS now?
No, it was in like the 150s at times.
Oh,
when I was looking up, it was like 150. So it's not, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, right around here I was getting about 150. Wow. But I mean, we've lost about 50 frames, but we're still at 90 to 100 FPS, and that's just using DLSS. So
I feel like at least the 1% lows before was like 60.
Yeah, it probably the stutters loading in that one area. So
maybe.
Hey, you don't even need frame gen to get a more than playable FPS experience, especially if you're rocking one of those high refresh rate monitors. See the birds flying away.
Bird.
But we do have some more games to test. But Jackson's going to be playing another AAA title, a bit of an older one, but it is one that is still very demanding even on new-end hardware, and that's Red Dead 2.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw, partner!
All right, guys, we are playing a game that we don't really normally whip out on the streams. This is Red Dead Redemption 2, and we are playing it way better than you could have ever played it on like the Xbox 360 because we're running 1440p first of all, and we're also, we got an unlocked frame rate, so we're not just locked at 60 or 30, and we're running ultra texture quality with kind of like a medium-high preset. I think it was set to like high, which kind of halves out a lot of the settings, but I mean, this is just beautiful.
It's beautiful. I know.
This guy's trying to talk to me.
He's no, I don't want to talk to you, boy.
What do you want, boy?
But yeah, older AAA title, but still one if you run higher details, or in this scenario, if you're running these settings, you can even run higher resolutions. Like if you want to do 4K, you could. You could run even higher details. But all in all, with the sidearm, you can.
I feel like I was playing this on controller at home. That's probably why it just was off.
Is that why?
I think. I don't know.
Double sprint.
I was trying to see.
Double time, Morgan.
I guess it's not like I know in the controller you got like tap A really fast, to get to sprint. Whoa, birds. Yeah, this does look really good though. I guess we have some more room too. I mean, especially if we were playing 1080p, we could crank up settings even more. But this is one of those older games where we don't have any frame gen, no upscaling, no nothing. This is just raw.
It's just gonna get dull.
Oh, here's someone yelling for help.
Help! Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got myself in this situation. Oh,
how are they still alive?
Get back down. Get back down. You need some help, sir. Oh.
What the hell? How many times are they gonna get up? What's he looking like that?
He's like, hee hee. Hey, man.
He's like Omar when he says hee hee.
I'm gonna loot him now. There we go. Oh, yeehaw!
Oh, now we got the yeehaw gun.
All right, so yeah, safe to say 126 FPS average. The low is crazy too, 94. So once again, way better than a console experience. And with those console prices rising, something like this could be kind of appealing, guys.
Let's try Fortnite. All right, guys, we are now in Fortnite. It's going to drop at Sus Studios, and we're currently running the following settings. I will show you momentarily.
We gotta watch his feet.
We gotta watch these boys' feet. Look at them feet. Oh, yum.
They have a weird texture, actually.
They do. They have a weird texture, but Tung 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 is ready to ball. We are on DX12 performance mode, far view distance, and low across the board, if you are curious. But yeah, we're running 1440p. Obviously, running these lower details. You can run at low resolution you want to, but I mean, with the PC that's expensive, I would expect you to have a 1440p monitor. I definitely think it's worth the investment. I think I saw Jonah, shout out to Toasty Deals. He posted a refurbished like 1440p 100 hertz on eBay that was like 66 bucks.
Ooh,
like
that's cheap.
They're cheap to get 1440p monitors nowadays.
That's like the cheapest 1440p I've ever seen.
And here we go. 300 plus FPS.
Oh, you showing the settings?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Right after he gets that kill.
Yeah,
You know what we're saying?
1440p performance mode, far view distance, low textures. There it is.
Yep, and we got a lot of headroom if we were to want to get into content creation. So if I was doing like some live streaming, any of the games that we've played, even like even the AAAs, they would run great on this. I mean, you've seen the CPU; it's never pinged past like 50%. So having all those cores and threads is pretty nice for streaming. It looks like a mixture of like a log and a cinnamon stick.
Yeah, well, what you doing when the cinnamon stick pulls up on you with the blop blop?
Dude, that guy's still running at you. He ain't scared.
He pulled up on this zip.
Someone's landing on
Whoa!
you?
What just happened? Hello? Did they just like, I don't even know what just happened.
Did we just see our first Fortnite hacker?
That's insane. Y'all let me know what that was down below, but Toon was getting 300 plus FPS in Fortnite, not too bad. We ran a couple other benchmarks. We have our 3D Mark and Assassin's Creed Shadows for another GV bound test. We'll talk about that during the outro, but benchmarks looking pretty good with this 250K plus.
Well, you guys saw in the benchmarks, this new Ultra 5 held up really well. We also have a video on the channel if you want to see the Ultra 7 with a slightly higher end GPU as well.
But we ran a couple more benchmarks along with our 3D Mark Time Spy score to get an overall picture of this PC build, and the performance was pretty good. First up, CS2, 1440p low settings. We got an average of 541.3 FPS with a 1% low of 186. Then we ran Assassin's Creed Shadows, 1440p high settings with DLSS set to balance, and this really pushed the 5060 Ti 16 gig to its limits, getting an average of exactly 60 FPS, a minimum of 24 and a max of 69. This is definitely one I'd run a more aggressive DLSS profile or drop down to medium settings to get higher FPS numbers.
And in 3D Mark Time Spy, we got an even score of 16,000. The CPU got a score of 17,136, and the GPU scored 15,816, which ends up with an 11 cent per point score. Of course, we have some really nice looking stuff here. We also have a 16 gig card that's a little bit overpriced. So yeah, it's naturally going to be a little bit of a higher cent per point, but the build looks nice. It's going to be great for live stream. It's going to be great for 1440p, which we clearly showed you guys. And on top of that, you have a chance to just win it for free.
So if you guys want to win this gaming PC, be sure to be following over on twitch.tv/ToastyBros on April 10th, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're going to be doing a giveaway stream where we give away this PC, hang out, play some video games, have a fun time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to this stream, so you guys got to show up. The guy behind the camera is going to be taking my place. You're going to have some more Jonah action, which only means more raging in games. So it might be fun for you guys to go over to the stream, and you have a chance to enter to win this PC giveaway. And we highly suggest joining our Discord as well to stay up to date on future giveaways. Discord.gg/ToastyBros.
We do one of these every single month. Believe it or not, we've been doing this for over 5 years now, I believe. So make sure you guys check it out every second Friday of the month. And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Intel's back! Once again, check out PCBros.tech because that's partially how we make all these giveaway PCs possible.
PCBros.tech. You can buy a gaming PC, a gaming laptop, and so much more. And potentially there will be a 270K plus PC listed on the website very soon. If it's not gone already, use code ToastyBros on checkout. You will save 3% on your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.